Hello, good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Highlights. We are reaching you from our network studios here in Port Harcourt. A River State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt nullified the 6 months tenure extension for the current occupants across the 23 local government areas in the state, declaring the local government law number 2 of 2024 invalid. The court in the said judgment held that the law is inconsistent with the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 9(1) of River State Law Number 5 of 2018, which stipulated 3 years for local government council elected officials. Justice D.G.Q. also held that any attempt to extend the tenure of the current occupants violates the officials' oath of office and therefore unlawful. This decision has since stirred reactions from different stakeholders. Others have equally argued that the Supreme Court had declared caretaker committees at the local government areas level invalid. But the Supreme Court, in 2 separate judgments on Friday, May 7, 2021, declared that the dissolution of elected local government administration in Oyo and Katsina states by their respective state governments is illegal and unconstitutional. Our focus this edition is invalidation of local government tenure extension in River State and matters arising. I'm Kingsley Amaje, your anchor. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With me in the studios to look at the issue talking about the invalidation of local government tenure extension and matters arising here in River State. From my immediate left is Mr. Pius Duko. Mr. Pius Duko is a member of the civil society, a journalist, and a public affairs analyst. Mr. Duko, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Kingsley, for having me.
Also with us in the studios here is a human rights advocate, a legal practitioner, Barrister Haya King. Barrister King, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here once more.
And we do hope that our third guest will join us in the course of this discussion. Let's open our conversation with Barrister King. I want to start with you because we are talking about the decision of the River State High Court on this tenure extension law as passed by the Amehule-led faction of the State Assembly. How do you react to that decision?
Well, first and foremost, I will say, you see, lawyers, even though we disagree with a judgment, we abide by the decision. But this decision, I think I agree with the decision and the judgment. Because as a lawyer, you may disagree with the decision, the judgment, but you will abide by the decision. Because until the decision is tested on appeal, even if you want to test the decision, you will abide by it first until you test it. And then if it is violated or if it's set aside on appeal, then you become happy. So even when you're unhappy, you must abide by the decision. So the decision presently as passed by the court, following your question, I completely agree with it. I abide by the decision. I abide by the judgment. I agree with the learned judge completely, the honorable judge. I completely agree with him because, like I said, the Nigeria Constitution does not have a tenure for local government. You know, that argument was raised here once, and I said, go and check. It is the law, the River State local government law, that gives them 3 years. That's what the court said. It didn't mention the Constitution anywhere in the Constitution. I say, so that is why you see the executive toiling with the local government. They can, some state will not even give you tenure. Some state will give you, will not pay many states like we had before, Anambra and Abia. They said for over 8, 12, 14 years, they never conducted local government election. If there was a provision in the constitution that says it must be 3 years, all of them would have conducted election, but they don't. And if you look at it, some of them conduct whenever they like when Odili conducted election after 1 year. It was by this time in 2020. Yes, 2000. Odili came May 29th, 1999. By this time, 2020 was when Odili was now conducting a local government election. 1 year after, some states did not conduct. Now, Mike did not conduct. Mike conducted 2 years into his administration. That is why the tenure of the local government is expiring now. Their 3 years is expiring when the new government has taken place. So people need to understand this. And so the governors are left, the local governments are left at the whims and caprices of the governors. So anytime the governor likes, he conducts election. If he doesn't want to conduct, you keep on running caretaker and caretaker and caretaker. That has been the position. But for Rivers State, we conduct election by tradition. We conduct election after 1 year. That is how we have been conducting. But Wike did not conduct that election after 1 year, because if he had conducted election after 1 year into his tenure, this local government tenure would have elapsed by May 2023, but he didn't conduct. That's why they are elapsing in 2024, 1 year after they assumed office. Now the judgment, for me, I am different from other. I wouldn't file a case like that. We have had briefs that they came to brief us, and I declined. I told them I will not file a case like this. Otherwise, the local government law have said it's 3 years. And why would somebody want to go to court to say, is everything you go to court to test? I would have given each of them 1 billion cost. I would have hammered them if I was the judge. Hammered them 1 billion for the lawyer and for the people that came to test that, because it's a constitutional issue. Sorry, it's a legal issue. The law have said it is 3 years. So, okay, imagine a situation where President Tinubu, towards 2026, he now 2027, he now goes to court. He now goes to House of Assembly. House of Assembly passes a law and says that pass a law, amend the law, and now say that Tinubu's law will now be elongated by 6 months. Tinubu goes to court and says the Supreme Court should ask him to stay extra 6 months. That's for me. For elected people, the judgment you just read that was passed by the Supreme Court, I completely agree with them too. The executive should not tamper with the local government. Local government is an independent, should be an independent, but they are not. They are the third tier of government. But in Nigeria, they are not. They are left at the whims and caprices of the executive, which is very, very unfortunate. That is why, let me tell you, the law is that anybody who is elected cannot be removed by other means, either by other than by the people who elected him, by going back to recall and all that and all that. That has been the law all over the world. That is the standard law. That is the general law. You cannot remove somebody who is elected by fiat. The governor says, I remove you. The president says, I remove you. Like the president now says, I remove a governor of Lagos State. I remove governor of Abia State. He cannot do that because the man was elected. Just like the president now. Who will say we are removed? Okay, maybe the Senate say we remove you. We can't remove him like that. So you must go through the same people who elected him. The same thing with every association. The same thing with anywhere we have election process. It is only that way you can remove that person. So for me, the attempt is like the third tenure. Obasanjo's tenure elongation in 2007, if you remember. 2005, 2003 to 2005 or so. Obasanjo tenure elongation, which failed woefully. This is exactly what they want to do. For me, I know that it will not work. I wouldn't take such a case to court. So I completely agree with the judge that anybody that is elected, a tenured office, an office which is tenured, you will vacate. If the governor wants to, if the system wants to, for instance, look at local government where we have given all the power to the governor to do whatever he likes with the local government, which I condemn. I completely disagree with that. The constitution should have made tenure of local government, if independent of local government, channel their money straight to them. Okay, look at what happened recently. The governor of Rivers State was able to pay workers directly. That shouldn't be. Oh yeah, that shouldn't be. If the system is working the way it should work, not even the chairman should not be able to also withhold their salary. Their salary should be able to run the way it runs. I mean, when one end you go and take your salary, it's not anybody holding anybody's salary. But now, can a local government hold the salary of ministry workers? He cannot. But the governor can do that. And yet we say local government is a third tier of government. We should operate independently. But in Nigeria, they don't operate independently, unfortunately. So for me, judgment, I abide by the judgment, abide by the decision.
Let's get your thoughts, sir.
Yes, very quickly, I think it is a very important and exciting judgment. The reason being that when the bill came in on the floor, we talk about it here. But I want to say emphatically that laws are made for the society, especially because that is the beginning of how law was made. Society was formed, and after some times, the people of the ancient, people thought that it is necessary to now put rules and regulations to guide the human being within a certain area, within a certain territorial area. That was how law was formed. But here, for example, in Rivers State, within the tenure of this outgoing local government chairman, we saw a situation whereby the men of assembly just wake up as of then and begin to extend the tenure by 6 months extra, which supposedly supposed not to be so. And a lot of people view that law as very obnoxious, and the law, common law has stated that if a law becomes repugnant and obnoxious to the society, such a law should be rejected, should be rejected, should not even be anywhere found. In fact, you can repeal it. There can be civil society disobedient to that law.
Yes.
People can demonstrate. People should not obey. That's what the law said. That is the common law. And here, it's the type of thing they did negate the common law stance, which I think the law have now put in place. So any person who was thinking, and let me also say, even the time frame of such law, you now make that law because you have interests. And because law is not made because I have interest with my friends come together, and then we now made the law very quickly so that I will gain from that law. If this would have been made to elongate their tenure, maybe 4 years ago, they're supposed to sensitize the citizens of Rivers State, word to word, maybe local government by local government, and they begin to work towards it. And if they buy in, they will not give reason why the 3 years tenure maybe is shorter, or we want to make it to be equated with that of governors. Governors is 4 years. How come the local government and the councillors are 3 years? So fine, we can look at it. Yes, in Rivers State anyway.
Some places don't have anything.
The law now seems, because when something continues at a matter of years and years, just like you said, 1999 to today, it becomes precedent.
Yeah, okay.
And what is precedent? The continuation of such a case. And by that conduct, it has become a law. And the Rivers State law also credited to it that it has become a law. So you cannot wake up early in the morning and you want to change such a law. No, people will not accept. Because it's anti-people. And very quickly, just like we are saying, a local government chairman does not have the right to sack any staff of any council. That's not because it's not from your area. We here in this state, some local government chairman sack over 200 persons. Which type of person is that? Are you the owner of the money? Is it working for you? Did you take right from somebody? So such act, it is beyond human comprehension, and we should condemn it in totality. But however, since they were able to marry, let me say very quickly, because they were able to pay those workers. Okay, what reason did you give? Did you liaise with the local government service commission? That look, this is the commitment, or this is the sin, or the offense of these workers. You did not do that. You wake up one morning and you chase 200 workers out of the council. And the people said, no, you cannot chase me. I was duly employed. And such a local government chairman, we said, no, they are sacked, and then you go on air and say, governor withheld your money. That is not true. We should be able to follow things and give correct information in this state.
But Mr. King, the judgment we are making in reference here, Justice Q said the 2024 law, he declared it invalid, and said these people took oath of office on the basis of the law of 2028. Yeah. It's the same people that made the law. the state assembly. So, because some people have argued that the constitution empowers the assembly to make law for the smooth running of the local government administration. So, what's your take about, or is it the fact that laws are not made in retrospect? Let's get your perspective.
You see, like my comrade here have said, Pius have already said, you don't just wake up to make law that will favor you. You don't just wake up to make law that will favor you as a person. The laws that you are making as a lawmaker is for the interest of the people, not for your own interest. In fact, as a matter of fact, you are expected to make a law which is even against your personal interest. But in Nigeria, most of them make law for personal interest. I have deposited somewhere, and I said that politicians in Nigeria, listen very carefully, they don't do what is right, they don't do what is constitutional, they don't do what is legal. They only do what is political. And what is political is usually illegal, is usually unconstitutional, is usually wrong. They will never do what is right. They do wrong things, unconstitutional things, and illegal things. Otherwise, why will somebody conceive that idea to go to the assembly, elongate your tenure from... You will finish that first tenure now. You must finish, because when you started, you can make law in between. When you started, the law says you're going to say 3 years. Finish it. Even if you make that law, it will be the people that will come in after you that will benefit from. Therefrom, you saw what they did last year. You saw all the laws they made before the election. Oh, you won't use the facility. You won't use this one. You won't do this. You won't do... Immediately they came and they started repealing those laws. I mean, for me, it's childish. It's shenanigan. It's shenanigan behavior. It's absurd. It's unheard. Are they honorable people? Are they humans? Where are they coming from? What are they thinking? You don't wake up one morning, make law, so that it will benefit hierarchy. So the hierarchy will stay extra 6 months. And the person comes tomorrow. So when are we going to stop witch hunting laws? You make laws to witch hunt somebody. You make laws to stop some opponent. It is unacceptable in a modern society. It's wrong. That's also why the government are able to hold the local government on their jugular. They cannot breathe. That is the truth. And we have been advocating for freedom of local government. They say, oh, I met somebody say, no, if you give local government autonomy, they will have too much money. I said, what about the governor that is embezzling money? Some of the governors have been held for embezzling local government money and embezzling corruption charges and all that. So you see, and so forgetting that some of these local government later became governors, became senators, and immediately they become governors and senators, they kill local government agitation. Wike was a local government chairman. He was among those that was clamoring for local government freedom, local government independence. When he became governor, what did he do to free local government? I didn't see anything to do to free local government. I didn't see anything like that. So,
all right, Mr. Pius, look at the scenarios. Both the one Barrister King painted and the one you painted, they all boils down to the fact that the local government area is in their need of rescue, if I may use that word. You talk about the governor paying directly to workers of local government council, which ordinarily shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And here you also made reference to council chairman seizing or relieving local government council workers.
I even have a case.
So how do we manage or deal with the issue of local government autonomy such that it will be beneficial to the populace, especially those within the locality?
Yes, let me say very quickly that the local government is very important for the growth and development of the grassroots, which is have been christened the third tier of governance. However, several indices have revealed and red flag have been raised that over the time most of these monies are not properly used, and that is why if you begin to look at the 3 years tenure, because the people have not denied that they never stayed 3 years. The 3 years will expire on the 17th or 18th of June, which is automatically the 3 years given.
It's automatic.
Yes, 3 years. So it is 3 years you are serving. So in the quest of elongating or want to make it extra 6 months, I don't know where this 6 months, what you will do. Will you build skyscrapers? Will you now bring fishing trawlers? Will you now empower and bring agricultural revolution? What extra?
They will empower you. They will empower both of us.
What other extra magical things are you going to do to make sure people now see that, oh, these 6 months have been so beneficial to mankind? Because law must be beneficial. If it's not beneficial, it must be jettisoned. That I said ab initio. What the lawyers, they are here. They call it from the beginning. It is useless. It is not. It's antiquated. It's anti-people and declare non and void. And it's in Ostravirus. So all the thing it negates the existence of human being. So what is supposed to be done is that since there is no vacuum, there's no vacuum in law. They also created where there is no vacuum. So in the essence, where a local government chairman sees the salaries of workers, and also know that by the time they want to go, they look what we call spending spree. You know, a lot of misappropriation, a lot of things that are not budgeted for, and they just go, some things that are don't have mandates, they will now put it, and then the money will go like that. In the state here, when you are 2 months is going, they used to go, and the governor will set up a machinery that they will pay all of you. They won't owe you, but you don't touch the money again, because they know that at that 2 years, 2 months remaining, you can even undo and begin to bastardize the account and begin to, you know, give unnecessarily things that don't supposed to be. So, for example, that 2 months, they will pay you. You heard it. Governor have given a chance to pay everybody, and they will not owe you. You know, that does not invalidate that you were not there at 3 years. 3 years is good for you.
But was that provided in the Constitution of Nigeria, or even in the law that established the running of the local government council?
The grand norm is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where other laws emanate from. So Rivers State Assembly law emanate from the grand norm.
Is there a provision in the Rivers State law that says governor should pay council workers? That's
listen. I said there is no vacuum. And that's why if you listen to the interpretation of the Supreme Court, which says no elected council should be removed by a governor. Listen, is it no elected council chairman? Listen, no elected. It also does not mean or does not preclude that if their tenure finish, the Supreme Court is telling you that you cannot put somebody there. It did not say so. It did not say you should not put somebody. He said if somebody is elected, validly elected there, the 3 years must be accomplished. But in the interim that the 3 years accomplished, the people cannot get more than that 3 years. Then the government have the right to fix in somebody, which have been running since 1998. And the Supreme Court has said that.
All right.
That is not a misinterpretation.
We sincerely thank Mr. Pius Duko for your thought on this program. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, this program continues. Stay with us.
Is going to curb some of the ills we have experienced from our past elections. But if we don't checkmate and put some of these things that are going to aid effective electronic voting, we are going to fall back.
If you want to invest wisely on assets, you must invest on things that generate returns.
Many people, instead of them to plan, look for what to do. They will be going from one prayer house to the other, looking for prophets to prophesy to them, declaring that this year is a year of harvest. Have you planted? If you do not plant, you can't harvest.
Money over billions have been sunk into the place. Go and check whether the money is trickling down. So how many persons do you tell this or this contractor to engage? How many per site are per slot?
Welcome back. Joining us in this segment of this conversation is Dr. Innocent Eku. Dr. Eku is a legal practitioner. Dr. Eku, welcome to the program.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
All right, we'll open this segment with you, sir.
Former governorship aspirant.
Okay.
That's very important.
Okay.
Governorship candidate.
Candidate. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, sir. So
Candidate or aspirant?
Candidate. He was a candidate. He was a candidate.
What aspirant and candidate? Let me learn. I don't know.
Candidates are those who have secured tickets.
Who stood for the election?
To contest
For the election.
You contested?
Yes, he did. He did.
That's
the Supreme Court.
That's aspirant.
No, aspirants are those who run for primaries.
Yes, to become
the candidates of the
But
party.
he didn't get it.
He got his party.
You know what I mean? I want the difference between aspirant and candidate.
Aspirants are those wishing to be the governorship candidate of their party.
To represent the party. To represent the party.
But you didn't get. Okay. Then candidate are the ones secured.
When you win the primary and become the candidate, you now contest with candidates of other parties.
So you now become candidate.
Yes.
Okay, you are candidate, not aspirant.
All right. Let's go to our main issue of discussion. So now we're looking at the latest decision by the Rivers State High Court judgment, and let's just oppose this judgment with the earlier judgment in 2017, where the Supreme Court held that state governments are not, by law, empowered to remove elected council officials, because there have been different interpretations. The last speaker made reference to that it's about those who are elected. When those who are elected, when their tenure finishes, people have argued, is it proper to constitute caretaker committees to run local government councils instead of conducting elections for those offices? Let's start with your reaction to the judgment, then you take this second leg of the question.
The recent judgment delivered by a judge of the Rivers State High Court, Honorable Justice Kier, was apt, and the judgment represents the law, and that is the trite and novel position of the law. It is already the law that when an elected officer takes oath of office, nothing on earth can change the term of that oath of office. If you took oath of office for 3 years, a minute extra cannot be added to it by anybody, neither National Assembly, neither the state legislatures. This is law, and it has been judicially decided.
Okay.
In the case of AG, Abia State, and Attorney General of the Federation, in 2001, the similar situation of Rivers State happened in Abia State. And there were people who were local government chairmen under the military. Now, following the situation, it was advantageous for the party in power to extend the tenure rather than letting them vacate so that a new process will start. So a conflict arose, a constitutional conflict, just like this one in Rivers State. And the matter ran up to the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. And both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court held that no legislature, the National Assembly or the state houses of assembly cannot enact a law or amend an existing law to elongate the tenure of anybody already elected and serving. So that is the final authority on that situation. And I had made this very clear a couple of weeks ago in a widely advertised interview, and I provided judicial decision and also call on the Amehule House of Assembly to look at that law, and they should stop perverting the provisions of the Constitution by doing illegality. So that judgment from the Rivers State High Court represents the law, and it is unbeatable. One important thing to also note is that the jurisdiction to resolve that dispute that Rivers State High Court handled rests squarely on the Rivers State Judiciary. No other court in this country have that jurisdiction or will share that jurisdiction. The Federal High Court have no jurisdiction
over local government issues.
Over that question.
Okay.
That question that the Rivers State High Court resolved concerning the validity of that law, that state law. Federal High Court have no jurisdiction over state law.
Okay.
It is the State High Court that must first determine it. Then if you are not satisfied, you go to the Court of Appeal. And so it was an apt decision. It was the law, and it also represents the position.
This is an interesting discourse. You said Federal High Court don't have jurisdiction over state laws.
Yes, now, Federal High Court does not have jurisdiction over state law and state establishment. They only have jurisdiction over federal agencies, federal laws, and federal establishment.
But we're seeing, I don't know, some of the issues in question for determination within the state, we'll see some of them filed at the federal, courts in Abuja.
Yes, some of the issues that were filed in federal high court, they were issues that were lacking in jurisdiction for the federal high court. The federal high court may have sat on them, but in the true sense of the law, some of them, the federal government or federal high court had no jurisdiction over them.
All right, to the second leg of this question.
Yes, on that judgment of 2017.
Yes.
In relation to this judgment of 2024 delivered by the Rivers State High Court, the two judgments are not the same.
Okay.
Are you understanding?
Because people have been making reference to this, that Supreme Court have decided that council tenureship, local government tenureship should not be run with elected officials.
Now,
what are the issues? What are the nitty-gritties?
The judgment of 2017.
2021, sir.
No. Okay, the one you are referring.
There's one in May 7, 2021 for Oyo and Katsina.
There is a judgment where the Supreme Court held that caretaker committee should not be practiced. It should be discouraged.
That elected council chairman should not be removed and replaced with caretaker committee.
Then the one you are referring to should not be removed. I'm telling you that decision is different from this instant decision. That decision is to the import that where the tenure of elected officials have not expired. The state government or the president should not remove them from office, except through the due process of law, which the Constitution has provided on ways and manner to remove them from office. But where their tenure has expired, as the instant case of Rivers State, their tenure would expire on the midnight of 17th or on the 18th morning of June. Once their tenure has expired, no power on earth can give them an extra minute. Forget about the boast they are making. In earlier interview last month, I had made it very clear that none of them has the capacity to stay 1 second beyond their time. By 12 noon of that 18th, they have no locus even to enter that place. Their secretariat and offices except as a visitor. Because this is sacrosanct, this is the law. And then that law they were trying to hold upon to say that, they have now made a law giving them extra 6 months. That law is a nullity ab initio. The law does not exist because already the Supreme Court have held that the State House of Assembly and the National Assembly cannot extend tenure. So they engage on a nullity ab initio. And so that law is of no effect and is of no impact. They cannot anchor on it.
The argument from the perspective of the lawmakers in this regard is that there shouldn't be vacuum in terms of elected officials for council tenureship in the state. And that gave rise to the law they had enacted in 2024. Given that we run constitutional democracy, what's your concern about the local government administration or local government system in Nigeria? The concern has been for autonomy for the local government system. How do we make the local government work properly? Now, Dr. Eku has established that the law in reference, people have been making reference to, is for elected officials. In the circumstance that the tenure of the elected officials expires and there are no elected officials, what happens?
You see, there is nothing like vacuum. Vacuum, there won't be any vacuum. We have had these situations several times. Local government, we have elected local government chairman in Rivers State. I commend Rivers State. First and foremost, I commend Rivers State. I commend the former governor, Peter Odele, for the precedent that he laid. It was only him in Nigeria that have a tenured local government system. I said, I told you, some does not have at all. It's only Rivers State that have a tenure local government, which is 3 years. Even in law, I made it law of a state. So Odili tried so much. He wasn't greedy. Many states never conducted election. We know it. Like the Abia State. Like this issue when they were doing that issue in 2000 and 2001. Those men stayed in office. It was after then Abia State started having a caretaker. They never conducted election for a long time. Now, there won't be any vacuum. We have had this situation before. What happens at the end of the day? You hand over to, what do you call them, a head of local government, you hand over to them. And then the governor will now appoint caretaker for 1 year. That is usually what we have been having. For me, which is even wrong.
The convention we'll be having, is it legal?
It's illegal. It's illegal. For me, it's wrong.
Now, let me come in.
Because, yes, okay.
Let me come in there. You see, it is important for Rivers people and Nigerians to know that the law does not contemplate interregnum.
Yes,
that
interregnum,
is what you call vacuum.
Yes.
The law contemplates that before a particular tenure exhausts, the process of electing
new people
will be there. But in law, there is something we call the doctrine of necessity.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances of Rivers State, the political logjam, the political war, the political battle, the deliberate and pronounced motive, aim, and objective of the Wike group and Amehule group to subvert the constitutional government of His Excellency Sim Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, is what the Constitution does not contemplate. Constitution does not contemplate that scenario will come. And when a scenario occurs which is not contemplated, foreseen, and provided for by the Constitution, those are the factors that invoke what we call the doctrine of necessity. So now, Sim, the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sim Fubara, under the doctrine of necessity, has full power under the Constitution to appoint people to man the local government until such a time the Rivers State government find it mutually conducive to conduct a free, fair, and acceptable local government election.
Yeah. Having said that, though, I agree with you to that extent. But like I was trying to say, local government in Nigeria does not have autonomy. That's the problem I have. Because if it is where they have autonomy, we wouldn't be talking what we are talking about here. If the Constitution had gone further, not just merely mentioning that they are third tier of government, if the Constitution has gone further to spell out how local government elections should be conducted, their tenure, who should conduct it, what time it should be conducted, we wouldn't be having all this. The same thing with their finances. If the Constitution has gone ahead to do all that, because what we hear, I've never been a governor, but from what we hear from the press, grapevine, everywhere, popular notice is that the money is even, local government money usually is paid to the governor. The governor now comes back to the
governor
state.
or the state account, because there's a difference between governor
not
and
the governor,
the state account.
to an account.
To the account.
Joint account.
Yes.
But being managed by the governor in the state. So now the governor, okay, let me use the word executive. Paid to the executive. The executive now rations and gives to the local government what he wants to give to the local government. It's unacceptable. It's corruption. And nobody's looking at it. Extreme corruption. The local government, the governor now sits down to appropriate who wants to pay and he does not want to pay. Now, if that was not the case, there was no way the governor would have been able to pay local government staffers directly. He wouldn't have been able to do that if the system was running well. So I am advocating for complete local government autonomy. So the local government will be able to do what they are constitutionally mandated or provided to do. There are local government can construct road, but show me local government who have constructed road in Nigeria. I don't know if there is any. Maybe the viewers will tell me, call me privately and tell me the local government chairman did this, local government chairman did, because I've never seen the River State where they constructed low road, markets. There are many things. That was where the constitution made that provision. But because of corruption and the system looks away, they don't want to look at it. Why would the money of local government be first given to the local government, to the executive, who now gives what he wants to the local government? For me, that is unacceptable. Now, like what Doc said, which I said I agree, there won't be any vacuum. That law was not made to cover any vacuum. We have had that situation in Nigeria, in River State before. Each time that, like I told you, usually the governor conducts election, usually first year into his tenure, so that when he's leaving office, the local government chairman goes with him. That was what Odile did. It was Amici that conducted the election when he came in. That is how most of them have been doing it. You conduct the election in your first year, in your first year in office, entering your second year, so that, and you give them 3 years. On the 29th May, on the eve of your leaving office, all of you leave together. The new governor comes in, runs another 1 year, then conducts the election again for 3 years, and when he's leaving, he lives with them. I think that interregnum, that distortion, using my learned friend, that interregnum, that interruption came during Amechi. Remember, Amechi conducted the election when he wants to leave office, if you remember. Amechi conducted the election when he was about leaving office. And those men went to court. I think they never entered that office. I don't think they entered. When Enrique came... They were
a month in the office.
Okay, yeah.
When they were removed.
It was Amechi that did that because of political considerations. Odile never did that.
Now,
that was where this whole problem started. So when he now did that, Wike fought them. They also fought. I know one of my friends who was that local government chairman, but he never, I think they never even collected
they did not collect 1 month. They never collected.
So Wike ran for 1 year. Instead of Wike conducting election in the first year, Wike allowed it to the 2 years. It was the second year he conducted. That is why their tenure is expiring now. Because if he had done what Odile did, their tenure, this local government chairman would have expired May 2023. So the governor would have been conducting a fresh election by this time. That is what it ought to be, but they never did. So, and again, like I said, everything they are doing is for political purpose. They don't do what is right, they don't do what is legal, they only do what is political. And what is political, like I have said, is usually illegal, unconstitutional, wrong. Otherwise, why would a lawyer, like what he just said, you saw all this employ 21 years, 23 years ago, there was a decision. 23 years ago, 2001, there was a decision that says you cannot extend the tenure of any elected person. I said so. Even in an association, in Garage Traders Association, MTA Workers Union, you cannot extend the tenure of the chairman of the branch of MTA here, for instance. You cannot. Because he was elected. That is the law all over the world. And again, even the Director General of NTA cannot remove you from office. He cannot. Because you were elected. The only people who can remove you from office is the people who elected you. That has been the law. 1,000 years all over. But yet, they went ahead to test that thing. I would have given each of them 1 billion naira cost. We don't use dollar. I would have given them $1 billion cost.
At the bottom of this crisis or this contention is election management into the local government council. If you look at the whole political drama in River State, it is the election management process into the local government system. What do you think should be done?
Yes, I think that these situations that are propping up have showcased to all Nigerians that all is not well with election administration, management of the third tier of government, and the electoral process into the system. What that sector of our country demands is a radical legislation that will come to be created and to put an end to all this rascality. Create a structured form of managing local government. Pronounce the autonomy both politically, in governance, in finance, and then create their system of governance such that it operates on its own. Are you getting me? Now, if this radical legislation is done, this problem will not happen.
Yeah.
But what the problem is that these senators are aspiring to be governors. And they want to put their hand into the till.
They want to maintain the status quo. Of
this money that come to local government. So they wish that a radical law come into existence, but not in their time. So they keep postponing.
Those of them that were governors, that were local government chairmen, yes. When they become governor, they kill local government autonomy. That's what they do.
Our friend and our brother, the FCT minister, was a very loquacious, dynamic
local government independence.
And he advocated with all his vigor for autonomy of local government.
Yeah, of course he did.
But when he became governor,
he killed it.
The National made a law for autonomy, a bill. And when the bill was sent to State House of Assembly, he instructed the Rivers State.
That's an allegation.
No, Rivers State rejected it.
That's an allegation.
No, let me finish. Rivers State said they don't want autonomy.
Okay. Yes. So that you can quote
what part of it?
The Rivers State legislature.
House of Assembly.
The Rivers State House of Assembly, who then were a total rubber stamp of the governor of the day,
rejected it.
Refused to sign the bill.
That's members of the assembly that refuse.
That's what I mean.
Members of the assembly refuse, not him.
Who controls them?
The members of
who controls them?
Knew them.
Who controls them?
Could not express opinion of their own.
Of course.
When they were working under Wike. But right now, they suddenly find stamina. And they are bullying the governor. I do not know the root of such stamina.
Probably because there is a new leadership. It's not the same leadership that was there.
No, is it not the same governor? Governor is the governor.
There is
I said there's a new leadership
of the house. There is a bird by the bush side that is playing a strange drum. And they are dancing to that music.
Exactly.
Of that stranger.
All right, let's get your thought on this issue, the election management process, because that has been the contention here in Rivers State. Who manages the process?
It's very wrong. It's very, very wrong for the governor to be managing local government as if it's a personal property. That has been what we have had not just in Rivers State but the entire Nigeria, where the constitution makes law, makes a provision, and all the state governors in Nigeria violates it, and nobody is talking. It's all about corruption. Because, like I said, why should the governor be given such powers over the local government? Otherwise, we wouldn't be having what we are having. It's about money. Answering your question, it's about money. Who controls the fund of the local government? I have met some of them that argued, if you give money to local government, they will embezzle it. They won't do any project. The governors, are they not embezzling money? The presidents, are they not embezzling money? The senators, are they not embezzling money? Not me saying. EFCC have investigated them, giving us figures of each governor, what they stole, and all that and all that. The present one, that just left office, Bello. We had it about 83 billion. They are still looking for him, and all that and all that. So it's not me saying, it's in the public domain. I'm merely repeating what the public have said, or what the investigation journalists have investigated and came out with. So it's very unfortunate. Let the constitution be amended. If you want, let the national INEC, not state INEC now, let the INEC conduct the election alongside the local government, not for the governor to conduct. Some governor, do you know why Abia State? Once I was listening to some of the governors say we didn't have money to conduct the election. And you didn't have money to conduct the election, and you have been taking their money. In Abia State, they can give you 1 year caretaker. That's how they do. You give you 1 year caretaker. In Abia State, 6 months. They give long. In fact, they used to give, I think, 3 months or 6 months or whatever. But Abia State can give even 2 years. You remain there 2 years. You are a caretaker. You're not elected. And the governor can wake up one day, get out. So it's very, very important that they are given free and full autonomy. Like Dr. Kuko cited, I was shocked when that bill came to Rivers State. They refused to assent to it. They didn't. Rivers State did not assent to it, that local government autonomy. Like he said, Wike was an agitator. Wike was very vociferous. when he was local government chairman. But when he became governor, kill it. No longer. It's very, very sad. Our politicians are interested in personal laws, personal gains, not something that will benefit the whole of Nigeria. What are you going to do with those billions from local government? Local governments. You have been also collecting billions. What about security vote? That's another place. Security vote. I hear that they don't give to the governor billions unaccounted for. If you like, he buy this. If you like, you will not come out and be telling you, I bought it for police, I bought it for army, I bought it for this, I bought it. So whatever here, the same thing with the president. President is also voted with billions. These are corruption. These are laws. These are things put in the constitution to aid and abate corruption. It should be removed and stopped.
I understand we're out of time. Let me give you 30 seconds to say what you have.
Yes, I was to say that our election process, both local government, state and federal, is lacking in integrity of the process. And we are also always throwing up leaders that are lacking in personal integrity and competence. This is the milieu that Nigeria is facing. Incompetence, both at the presidential level, governorship level, and local government level. If we can address this problem, so that election process come, the masses choose who they wish, majority wins.
It's going to come in a long time.
Nobody will go to tribunal. People go to tribunal because they see perfection.
Yeah.
Somebody stay somewhere and write the results and give it to somebody to announce.
Yeah.
While the one they voted at the villages are dumped somewhere. Can we as Nigerian decide to cure the diseases and the viruses that have been
finally, it's only when we have a leader who is ready to change things in Nigeria that will be able to do that. But so long we still have the situation we have now, it's going to be difficult for the people to really come out to say we want to vote who we want, and that who we want stands. For Nigeria now, it's still a long
gratitude to Dr. Innocent Eku, Barrister Hyaking, and Mr. Pius Duko, who earlier on left, for your thoughts on this program. Don't forget, we have other programs lined up for you. Keep watching NTA and have a fruitful weekend ahead. Thank you.